Hello, Allison. Welcome on in. Beautiful, lovely to see you. Web GG on that first. So quick. So quick. Locked and loaded. But welcome on in, everybody, and welcome to another game dev review with Piper. That's me. Today we're going to be playing 3 games. We got a platformer, we have a roguelike deck builder, and a survival game. And we'll be going more into that as we go throughout. As always, we always start our game dev reviews with our little brief. That way you guys know what to expect. It helps frame everything for me, and it helps you guys, maybe if you're not familiar with these games or how we do grading or anything like that, it helps you guys also help me identify what we're looking for, or also become a little more familiar with some of these games and what exists out there. Without further ado, the stream agenda as listed. So what you can always expect from me: honest, candid feedback, suggestions to make the game better, speedrun perspective as listed, a fair attempt, a deep perspective on gaming. We've actually streamed over, as it says in that corner, 150 games on Twitch. Can you guys believe that? As always, if you guys are interested in knowing what those 150 are, you can check out, I just did exclamation point played in the chat, so you can always check it. Alex, hello, welcome on in. So you can see all 150 games that we've played, plus a VOD as available, or you can always check out the piper.rwellpod.org/played. And then, I will give every game a fair attempt. So what that means is if we're doing like a demo, I'll usually play through the demo if reasonable, because most demos usually are like 45 minutes to an hour. If it's a full game, we'll usually give it about an hour to 2 hours of playtime. So for 3 games, we expect these streams to take about 3 to 4 hours. Hence why I start a little bit earlier than usual. We are playing 2 demos today, because I do have some homework I still gotta get done and some work stuff that's due tomorrow. Plus, I have to get some of my clothes ready for tomorrow as well. And then you'll always have great stuff. Yeah, happy you're here. Then you'll always have access to the VOD and the video game review toolkit. So Alex, for your essay and anybody else, you can always access my VODs here. They get uploaded about 60 days after the stream, because all my VODs are available here on Twitch for 60 days. And then I'll be grading all games using the video game review toolkit, which can be found, I think, at that short URL. Yep, still available. Cool. So you can use that. So you'll always have ability to that. What I expect from you and all the devs is patience. So if you ask me to play your game, note that, hey, I only play games every Sunday, and there's also breaks. Please note that I am employed full-time and I am a student. So I am working like 40 to 60 hours a week at work, plus I'm currently enrolled in 2 upper-level college courses, so I'm also doing college, and then I'm also streaming 3 to 4 times a week, so my schedule is very, very full. So please have patience when it comes to VODs and other things. Please have humility and non-combatantness. I want you to release a great product that's fun for everyone, so my criticisms are of the game. So you can take whatever you want from it, but if you don't agree with something, please just say thanks for the feedback and just move it on. Communication, basically just don't ghost me. If you ask me to play your game, I can't get a hold of you, I'm not going to play your game. And then no backseating, so if you want real feedback, like there's going to be times when I'm playing your game and I'm going to be like, I don't know what to do, what's going on? Just wait till I ask directly, and then take that into consideration of like, oh, okay, I can see how like maybe our ideas aren't conveying, and then we can like work through that together. And then tech assist, if I have any issues playing your game, please help me help you help me play the game. So how are we going to be reviewing all of our games today? We look at them in 4 categories. The first one is genre. So genre is like, as it says, right, core mechanics, player role, objectives, progression systems, tone, theme, atmosphere. So what all of that comes down into is, are you categorizing your game right? Does it fit within that? When you say you're, for example, like Willow's Descent, we know is a platformer. So when we're thinking platformers, does your game identify within most platformers? Are we categorizing it right? And then if we are categorizing it right, the next part is expectation versus innovation. So have you just reskinned everybody's favorite platformer, or have you actually taken something and made it better or interesting and add something that's unique to your game? We then look at the game and art. So style, consistency, visual identity, and originality. So those go hand in hand. It's the idea of, if you've never played Guess the Game, which is Guess the period game. It's a daily like Wordle game where you get 6 screenshots of games. And the idea is that if your game has style, consistency, and visual identity and originality, any person who's played your game will be able to identify your game within 6 screenshots of seeing it. So that's the general goal with that. And then readability and functionality. goes into our actual gameplay. So it goes into conveyance. Is it clear what I can and can't do, what's going to hurt me, what's not going to hurt me? And then we grade all that together. We then look at gameplay. So this is basically how fun is the game, to put it simply. And then speedrun ability. Since I am a speedrunner, we're going to be grading all games and what the likelihood is of them being sped ran. Like, are you going to likely have a speedrun community? If you do, what does that look like? And the things that kind of play into speedrunning. We put all that together in the video game review toolkit, which looks like this right here. So you'll have your 4 categories broken out into 16 subcategories. Then we'll vote them all 1 to 5. Then you'll get an overall score. Right now, I think our high score is about a 88%, and our low score is like somewhere in the 60s. And that was during like an alpha playthrough, I want to say. So the game wasn't exactly finished. Depending on where you're at in your game, the things I think that you really want a strong ability on is going to be that core gameplay in the genre. Art and consistency will come through as you're developing your game more, and then maybe a few of the other things, but you really want that genre to be a high score, because that's what it's going to be. So what are we playing first? We're playing Willow's Descent. Willow's Descent, as described on Steam, is experience the beautiful hand-drawn world of the Eratai in this atmospheric precision platformer. Dive deeper into the under and overcome unique platforming challenges in search of your missing sister. I did categorize this as just a platformer. I have done some stuff with precision platformers, but we're going to be mostly looking at this as a platformer itself. So what makes a great platformer? Tight responsive controls, super important, especially when we're talking about precision platformers, because we need to be able to control our player very specifically. We don't want tank controls because we need to be tight responsive to do precision. Fun and interesting level design. So levels need to introduce mechanics. Gradually teaching through gameplay rather than text is like a huge thing that I'm a part of. Usually, like, platformers should never need or feel like you're doing a tutorial, if that makes sense. Then building onto that, and then secret rewards. Oh, by the way, totally forgot, I can send you a key for the full game. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll start with the demo today, and then honestly, if I love the game, no matter what, I'd love a key for sure. That way I can keep up with it, and if you want like a more in-depth one, we can plan something at a later time for that as well. Meaningful challenge. The big thing with meaningful challenge is that difficulty needs to feel earned. So the biggest thing that this like means is that mistakes are the player's fault. This is like where I get really mad at games. To be honest, is like when it feels like it's not my fault, and that comes with like randomness, enemy spam, things like that. Variety and innovation. So especially with platformers, right, we need to have innovation, consistently move forward. It shouldn't be like, okay, cool, I get it, we're playing the same level, or we're just like jumping over the same stuff. So it's like introducing new platforms, new enemies, new mechanics, and how do they interact with each other. Flow and momentum. Huge part with flow and momentum. I think I say this every time we play a platformer. All platformers and all games that require flow and momentum should be accomplishable first cycle. So what does that mean? That means when I enter the room, the stage, or whatever, if I'm a really good player, I should be able to zoom by a game. You should only have to wait by choice, not by force, if that makes sense. And then visuals, it needs to, appreciate it. Visuals needs to look great, and then identity and charm. So this is what I think makes a great platformer. So we're going to be framing our review with these things in mind, using the video game review toolkit. And then the other thing that we're going to be framing is based off the flagship game of the genre. So there's a lot of platformers out there. It's probably the game that I've probably spent the most amount of time on. So platformers range from Hollow Knight, Silksong, to precision platformers, most famously probably Celeste. We are probably aware, if you've spent time here on the stream, we just played that over at Games Done Quick Hotfix, which is a pixel platformer. So we play a lot of those, but what's the flagship? What started all? What like launched it? What's the big one? It's Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. Is the flagship, in my opinion, of what is a platformer. So all platformers are like birthed from Super Mario in a lot of ways. So my framing and like what's my expertise in this is that I've currently ran 6 Mario speedrun categories. So I've ran Super Mario World and Super Mario Odyssey primarily, and then a few ones that aren't actually included in that because they're not actually Mario games, but they're PD games. I've done 2 speedrun categories with that. Mario, wet. And then I've played 17. I think there's like 21 main titles. So I've played 17 of the main titles, beat them all. And then I have over 500 hours between Super Mario Maker 1, Super Mario Maker 2. So I have a lot of experience with platformers and viewer levels and playing what people make with it. And then I'm also a Kaizo ROM hack player. I've played 36 ROM hacks and I've beat 21 of them, all exits, which means I've 100%ed 21 of the 36 that we've played. Those are some games that we're going to be playing later, but we'll go through those when we hit them. So for the end of this, here's our current calendar and schedule. I did adjust the calendar a little bit to try and give everybody the time that's needed. Wept, if you're available next week, would you like to play Valor Hunters with me? It's a co-op game. They said it is one player, but it is an option if you'd be interested in joining me on stream next week. So that could be, yeah, on Sunday. We're streaming next week on Sunday, right? Yeah, on the 16th. Or on the 23rd, I mean. Today's the 16th. And then, yeah, so that's everything. And then, as always, if you guys are interested in me reviewing your game, you can reach out via email. I do have a few emails pending, so if you have emailed me, sorry for not responding. Life's been super busy. Like I said, please have patience. I'll be emailing you guys back soon. You can reach out on Discord or join our Discord at discord.narwhalpod.org, or you can join me at YouTube at either of those links. That's also where yours will be uploaded. All of these get uploaded to the VODs channel first, then they get uploaded on Wednesday to the Pied Piper Shorts. I do it on both, one to help expand your ability and your scope of what you could see, because we do have a better following on Shorts. And then for VODs, that's you guys are able to access this quickly. Big thing with this, we are going to upload this on YouTube. So everybody on YouTube or everybody here say hi, YouTube. And we'll be moving through that. So without further ado, let's pull up our game. Whoops, don't be looking at that. I should be available. I'll be going to work about an hour after stream starts, but if we do it first, I should be able to. Okay, sounds good. Sweet. Yeah, sounds good. Appreciate you. Okay, do we have key... Oh, interesting. We have weird mouse support, or weird controller support. Alright. Willow's descent into the Underdark. Let me get my... Let's pause real quick, get my notes ready. This gives me... What was that game that we played? It was like hand-drawn platformer. Kind of gives me those vibes already. Same type of music. God, what was that game? There's a clip, because it was one of the first times I ever, like, PNG tubed. And it's just me, like, banging to the music. I'm like, ba ba. I should have looked it up. Gris? No, I have played Gris. Gris was really good, too. Man, I'll have to look up. You're like a princess. Because Gris is the singer. Hold on, I gotta turn the game down a little bit. It's very loud. There we go. Okay, now you should be able to hear me. The game is so loud. Something light? Something light. Child of light? Child of light. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, that's a... Nestled deep within the forest is the Aratai village, home of the Aratai. Life was simple, peaceful, and happy for everyone there. Nobody would venture outside because it was dangerous. End of story. But not for Sir and young Aratai. Willow's younger sister, Pico, was a curious one. She, unlike others, always wanted to see what was beyond the boundaries of the village. And this morning, Willow awoke to find Pico missing. Come on, where are you, Pico? You couldn't just disappear. Where did you go? He's left a trail going through the forest. Oh, this is still Willow. I'm so scared of leaving the village, but what else can I do? I have to find her. Oh, God. I was just running around. Long legs, long. Okay. Oh, okay. Can we jump up on that? Okay, no wall jump yet. Nope. Whoa. Did that show up to show us? Yeah. Okay. Oh. Did I touch that? Oh, okay. Oh, checkpoint? Checkpoint? Death if we just jump there, so we go down? Oh, we gotta, like, thread the needle? There's so much. It's really hard to tell, like, why can't I not jump on this tree? It's, like, it's pretty difficult to tell, like, what I can do and what I can't do. Oh, I guess we can do it from here, right? We use this ramp again. Okay. Interesting. Whee! We're floating. Floating. Oh, okay. Nice, we can jump on those. Yep, box. Okay. Can we jump higher if we're holding jump? No. Okay. Oh, checkpoint. Nice. Wow. Okay, there's definitely, like, some tech there for sure. Ooh. Okay, is there something over here, though? Secret! Secret tunnel. Maybe not. Okay. So we don't want to jump on that? Interesting. Okay. Get the challenge. Nice. I don't know what those are for, but we like them. I do like that. I do like the, like, little challenge thing. Okay. Now let me lower the chair a little bit. Slow down our magic carpet. Oh, God. Make it. Okay. Whoa. Does this have, like, can we... Oh, yeah. There's definitely some wildness that you can do with this. Ouch. What? Oh, God. I don't know if I like that checkpoint sound effect. Feels out of place a little bit. Oh, I guess we can go over to that area. And jump onto this guy. Okay. Lots of checkpoints. That's always a good thing with precision platformers. This is definitely given more just like regular... Oh, that went all the way through. Okay. So far... Oh, the game doesn't say a certain thing which you can use. Should I push more buttons? Oh. My monitor's been weird all day. Yeah, let me know. Yeah, because I definitely feel like I know all the abilities. I know I, like, saw something weird happen earlier. Right stick. For camera? So you can, like, see ahead? Is that... Yeah, there's like good ways. Yeah, there's good ways to convey that, which is like you can you do like small things. You gotta do like an early like look at like an art thing or something, especially maybe in the village or something. You could do. And it's interesting that we like re-get the checkpoint every time. Okay. Oh, that goes up. This is where it's like, okay, what am I? It's very busy right now. Okay. Oh, wow. Maybe some like shading where what you can jump on is like less opaque, like transparency-ish. We don't have a lot of vertical, we have a lot of horizontal height. So I guess we need like momentum for that. But momentum's kind of crazy in this game. Oh, my goodness. That is tricky. Oh god. Whoa, that's good to know. You can like mash and immediately move before you fully load it in. It isn't a bad thing. It's just oh god. It's gotta be careful because otherwise you'll spawn to your death basically. Whoa, that's the second time. Like, I'm trying to like hang out in the back so I can get a little bit of a run and start. Maybe we gotta jump the That was weird. Whee! Yes. Good job. Thanks. Yeah, coming down here felt bad, but it's what was intended. Get up there. What the heck? Get up there. Oh, I guess we could have gone that way, maybe? That's a challenge path, because there's definitely a path up there. It's not all spikes. What the heck? That was weird. Oh yeah, this would be like a good time for... Well, even with right stick, you're still making a blind jump. Yeah. Blind jumps, nobody... It's a rough one. Oh god. I never knew the forest could be so dangerous. Life in this village is nothing like the outside world. Is this really what Pico wanted to see? It's a scrap of paper here and... It's got Pico's handwriting! I found 3 bugs today. Also got a bunch of scratches trying to make it through the tunnel. But it's absolutely worth it. This forest is breathing wonders. I can't believe I stayed in the village all these years. From here I can smell the dusty desert air. I wonder what that'll be like. Nice. Oh. Oh, nice. That's the demo? Okay, cool. I am curious. I do want to, like, run it back. That was really quick. We're gonna mash through this real quick. Or something at the end. Oh yeah, we gotta do this. I do like that you have the, like, little... I still question that hitbox. The little, what's it called? The, like, ghosts show up, because, yeah. Because it feels good where it's, like, it's not forcing you into it, you know what I mean? It definitely, like... I feel like it gave me an appropriate amount of time to figure it out myself, which is really important. Oh, I tried to, like... Hold on. I really want to see if I can do this. Can you not slide in there? I feel like you should be able to. It feels weird to have to fall. No fall damage is always nice. I could have given it another go. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, nice. Ooh. Pro moves. Why is this weird like this? Can we do something with this? This is weird. That seems odd. It just like has that like big path there. Makes it feel like there's secrets. Make it over? Ah. That works. Oh god. Whoa! Secrets? See, this does not feel like I should go here. This feels like that's a wall. And then it feels like I like clipped into something right there. Because it's like I'm not even on ground. And mossy, weird grass side. Make it? Oh. That's always nice. That's something that Shovel Knight does really well. With platforming, where your failures don't kill you, because death feels worse inherently than having to like start over. Oh, I forgot. Didn't quite see those. We go up there. Yes. See, that feels like new land that I can step on in there. Like the grass is like a background instead of a solid platform. But we only got 2 last time. I do like that. Took me a few tries. You feel good about like achieving it. All right, yeah. So we're gonna try going this other route. It might be worthwhile to have it where, why not let me go back up? Where you have the player locked during respawn so that things like this doesn't happen. A hint? Oh, I don't want to be here. Oh, that sucks. Because it's like, if you go down, you're stuck having to, like, you don't get another chance to go up there. And especially with, like, how I respawned. That's kind of unfortunate. I really did just want to look at the ending again, and then we're going to mess around with menuing a little bit. Whee! Okay. Yeah, what you got for a hint? Here's the thing that I was curious about. Is how this ends. Oh, I still have to run to the end. Okay. Yeah, for this, like, that's cool. I don't know if you guys have a plan of, like, having, like, the bug things unlock something. Or, like, having, like, golden times and, like, challenges set. But I definitely do think that that could help. But, like I said, we are doing some demos mostly today because I thought that they'd be quicker, and we beat it. And yeah, that was pretty neat. And let's just mess around with menus just because that's always fun. Music and SFX. Okay, cool. Then yeah. I was just curious what people see. There's gonna be something that's gonna unlock there, like challenges or a legend maybe? What? Just moving some stuff around. And why do you keep showing that? Oh, what you should be showing. You should be showing this. There we go. All right. Duplicate. Rename. This was Willow's Descent. I know how to spell right. How you spell? Say it like it is, yeah. Descent. Great playtest, thanks. Yeah, no, that was really cool. That was neat. Willow's Descent. Appreciate the key. Yeah, we can definitely hit this again. So art style consistency. I think that like the big thing with this is that it is mostly unique. I think it's pretty recognizable. And then there's just some small consistency issues with the with just how the player interacts with it. So like the floating and some of that. And then I do think there's some consistency, which goes more into readability and functionality. So I don't want to like pull too far away from that. So we'll give that a 4. So readability and functionality, I think this is where most of the issue is. Where there's a lot going on. There is so much going on. And with that, it's hard many times to see where like walls end, where secrets might be. You kind of spend some time kind of like looking and you're like, this is different. And I know it's in like, with that, usually when we're talking about like Hollow Knight or Celeste, when you're looking at precision platform and you're looking at areas that are different, it usually means secret. But in this case, it just was like, that's just different because it is. So I definitely think that there needs to be some readability because, especially like I was talking about, there's like floating guys that looks like there's a new background or area that you can jump into, but you can't. So with this, I think doing some playing with basically opacity and overlays a little bit with how everything is, so that things are clear, like they're 100%. There's no like shadow or anything over it versus in the background. That way it's a little clearer. That way just the things that you can walk and some of the walls like pop out a little bit more without you, because it's hard to do because you guys are going for like that watercolor effect where everything kind of blends, but it makes it so busy. And as the game, you guys are going to add and add and add more stuff, and this is where you're going to have most of your issues. Atmosphere, world building, when it comes from like how the art goes into it, doesn't line up with it. Do we understand how the world exists and everything like that? You have it a little bit through the play, you have everything building in. So I think that you do like a pretty good job at that. And then technical execution, I think it's very, very pretty. I think that you guys with like with how everything's like, I think the biggest thing that is missing when it comes to technical execution is kind of how everything gets tied together a little bit, because there are moments where you have a lot of different colors and it's like I would look at like kind of like how flora exists next to each other and with each other, because there's areas where it's like, okay, we have like these brownish oranges that feel very fall-esque next to a lot of these like really pink and white colorful flowers in certain areas. So, and I think that was also what was kind of like playing into some of the readability and functionality, with some of those darker colors really stuck out when you were near those light colors. So I think that like it's very pretty and that you've done a really good job in the general design of the backgrounds. It's just now how does it all play together into the game and how do they fit together, is where you're gonna need some work. But I think overall that the game's very pretty. When it comes to gameplay, core loop, addictive, highly satisfying loop versus functional, moderately fun. I would say it's somewhere in between. I did end up playing a whole nother playthrough to try and see the challenge, everything like that. I think what's really going to help and add to that is by having it say like 2 out of 5, or like, hey, whatever the time is, and you guys set those challenges. I think that people are naturally driven to like achieve more, and then you can build like Steam, or I would recommend doing in-game and Steam, because one of the things to note with like the Epic Game Store is any game that you upload to Epic Game Store has to have the same it has to have the same or more achievements than you upload onto any other store. So but the problem is with Epic Game Store, as far as I know right now, they don't have the ability to do like Steam achievements, so you have to do in-game achievements, and the in-game achievements have to line up with like Steam achievements. So that's why you see a lot of devs moving to that, and you see a lot more in-game, and they'll like line up with Steam. So I think if you do that, where it's like either you can do it per level, per area. I don't know how you guys are planning on building it out. It sounds like the next level would be the desert, so I don't know if every level is going to be a new theme, or if you're going to do like 4 or 5 in like the jungle and then like 4 or 5 in the desert. I think that there's advantages to doing both. And then you're able to build onto it from there. But I do think that if you really want to like upgrade your loop and that satisfaction to play more, is doing those challenges. So when you beat it, it's like, hey, you got 2 out of 5 of the bugs. You did it in 5 minutes, but can you challenge yourself and do it in 2 or something like that? And I think that's going to help build that core loop engagement. I think it's also going to encourage people to naturally want to speedrun your game, which we'll get into in a second. Controls in response to this, I'm going to say that this is adequate. There is like a weirdness that you have to get used to with the player that's different than many other games, which is that momentum. And that momentum is like, it's kind of like Mario's P-Speed in a sense. It feels like that, but it's so much quicker, and it like goes so much. And so it makes it kind of hard for you to do like small jumps or like kind of move into that. And so you kind of like, it's a weird, it feels different. It's all going to depend on how you build your levels. I think in the playthrough that you have right now, that you've built the level to play with that character and there's not a lot of issues, but I do worry about how that scales. Like, how do you get more interesting when you're like forced to basically make every jump a certain distance? So there's definitely a potential, and I'm curious to see how it goes with that. Challenge and balance, I think since we really only had one level, it's hard to see how much it's growing and everything like that, and same with variety and depth. So I'll just give you like a middle 3 for generally fair, some variety, moderate depth. Yeah, we saw some of it build, but as far as the demo goes, I can't really go too much more in depth with what we have. For genre fit, so when we're talking about precision platformer or platforming in general, do we think that it's a platformer and its core mechanics? Like 100%. You're jumping from platform to platformer. Does your role in the game make sense? Does it fit into it? 100%, right? We're immediately driven into like Mario, save the princess, cool beans. This, instead of Mario, you're Willow, you're saving your sister. Totally makes sense. It's iconic. You understand who it is. You know who your character is. You're Willow. It's in the game test. You understand the character. So very good. Progression, we don't know. Because it's like, what abilities are we going to get? Because that's really what's going to build into. Then you have like 2 means where you can do temporary abilities similar to Mario, but then you have to be very careful with precision platformer. I recommend going more of like the Celeste or Hollow Knight realm, where you're unlocking abilities forever. So that's, or even right where we're talking about double jumping is an inherent natural progression. I would recommend coming up with some special ability that's unique-ish to your game. That's going to help stand out and do that as like one of your last abilities. because that's going to like completely change the gameplay, and then it's going to also really move you away from that expectation, move you into that innovation, which is really where you want to be in a lot of ways. So for this one, we'll just give it a 3 for where it's at, and then I would say for the atmosphere tone, you're fitting pretty well into a platformer genre, which is good. And then for speedrun ability, I think that, yeah, there's some solid tech for sure when it comes to moving. There's absolutely no RNG from what I can tell. It seems like once you die, everything's back on that same cycle, and then there's nothing like that. I do think that there's definitely some notable tech that I mentioned. And then for routing and optimization, I think that there are some decisions that exist. So some of those challenge runs and everything like that. So overall, like for it, 82 is really good. So let's talk about those comments that we talked about. Overall, a very, let's not use a beautiful game with a very iconic and easy to understand story. I really liked the initial tutorial. You gave me appropriate amount of time, sorry for the clicking clack, to figure out the challenge, and then gently guided me to the answer slash affirmed my attempts. Overall, the screens are cluttered and readability is difficult. It is hard to see where platforms and walls exist at times. Recommend more variation slash depth slash shading slash something to platforms versus backgrounds, and recommend adding some foreground objects. I think that you guys have a lot of beautiful stuff. I think if you add some foreground objects, it's really going to take that technical execution to the next level. Right now, the character floats a lot and does not impact with the environment. So that definitely, as you move into your actual gameplay, you're going to need Willow to actually be stepping on the ground. Some blind jumps exist, and when using the D-pad, the right stick for camera is not inherent. You can build some simple task that allows players to look before jumping. However, even with the right stick, those blind jumps still exist. So I would like, that was weird. Inherent. There you go. Maybe. And then what else do I have? I'll recommend to increase core loop and encourage speedrunning to build out challenges slash achievements for beating the game slash level in X amount of time, and making it clear, and making it clear how many bugs per level. We're talking about right now the character floats a lot. Yeah, design impact, as in like when we're jumping and stepping, like Willow's floating above, so like we're not actually like stepping, right? We're not actually impacting onto the ground or touching the ground, we're floating. And then like when you jump, even like you float above the ground. Does that make sense? So eventually, yeah. So it's like we're running like this. Basically, you have the ground, then you have your player. So there's like no actual impact into it. Yeah, about collisions. Yeah, exactly. Yep. But yeah, no, thank you so much for submitting. Thank you for the key as well. Once, if you want, we can schedule something for next year and then be able, everything to the point you think you'd personally enjoy speedrunning it. I think it does. I think the two things that's going to need, one, it would depend. I think the two things for me that I would want to speedrun for it is going to be, one's going to be length. I'm going to be honest. So I don't know how long you guys are intending for the game to be. Most speedruns I enjoy for platformers, I want them to be under, like, the longest platforming run that I have to date is Super Mario World All Castles, and that was around 47 minutes. And that's about the longest that I ever want to do a platforming speedrun, to be honest. So that's like part of it for me. I think that like with that, right, the core game can still be like 6 to 10 hours on like an any percent run, casual, and then 100% you can look at like a 10 to 15 and then still be able to beat it in under. The 10 in length is like 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay, yeah. So with that, like, and then you can speed run that quicker. I think that's definitely, I think adding the challenges with like the bugs, like how many there are, because that's going to make it really clear what like the any percent, 100% category is, that we're able to see it. I think that would definitely build it. And then the biggest thing is seeing how you guys build your challenge in depth moving into the other ones. If they're inherently interesting and then there's a clear first cycle path, I think I'd be like definitely like willing to give it a go. If you're really looking at encouraging speedrunners, I do always recommend building a speedrun. One of the games, if you haven't played it or looked into it, I think I have some speedruns up of it, and I talk about it a lot, but Katana Zero, ASCII Soft worked a lot with us. So the initial speedruns of that game were about over an hour due to like unskippable cutscenes and other things. And then they built out a speedrun mode that auto times it, breaks it down by level, gives you different wards, counts your deaths, and it made it the game like explode because they leaned into the speedrunning community so much. So like if you guys are really trying to lean into it, I always recommend adding like usually locking it behind, like force players to play your game. I stand by that. So allow it to be unlocked. Like once you beat the game, it should be like, congratulations, you beat the game. Speedrun mode now unlocked. And then basically what speedrun mode is for like in your guys' example, what it would do is like consistent samples. So if there's any like global timers, anything like that, it like makes it where those are now on like set schedules, which I think the game's already built that way, so you don't have to worry about that. It counts deaths, does timing for each, and then would like have some way to make sure that you get like is tracking all like your bugs or your extras. That way it's like any percent, 100%, and it gives it that time. And the thing that's like really important, why like a lot of people forget, but depending on where you want to release your game, if you're doing like Steam only, usually a speedrun mode, I'm gonna be honest, like a speedrun mode's not necessarily required, and I stand by that. It does help a lot, but if you are trying to get more speedrunners and you want it to be playable and interesting on the Steam Deck, and you want it to be playable and interesting as a speedrun on the Switch, you need to have a speedrun mode, because you can't run things like live split on either of those at the same time. You could theoretically run live split on the Steam Deck, I will say, but it's not, it's going to be tricky. So having it built into the game helps a ton. Live split, LIVE/SPLIT. It is the most common timer that speedrunners use for all, like I don't know anybody who uses another timer for speedrunning. So yeah, just to have in there. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. We're gonna end this YouTube video and then start the next game. So everybody say bye, YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. We do these every Sunday over at my stream on twitch.tv/thepipepiper. Make sure that you guys can check out this game. I'll link it down in the description below. So if you guys are interested in checking out this game, the Steam page with the demo will be down below. So feel free to play it along with all the information for the review and that. And let me know if you guys have a game that you want to play and drop that in the comments. In the meantime, hope to see you again. Stay safe, wear your seatbelt, and stay hydrated. Bye.